Well, good morning, everyone. It's, what is today? Thursday, April 2nd of 26. My name is Rod, and I'm not doing a keto video this morning, although I will say I'm down 13 pounds now on the keto diet, and it's going a lot slower than I thought it would, but you know what? That's okay. It varies with your makeup, your age. A lot of things influence keto. But the important thing is I'm going down. I only got another 40 pounds now, 30 pounds to go. Huh. So that'll be a while. Anyway, there's four things I want to talk about this morning that aren't diet or health related. They are artificial intelligence, robots, jobs, and the monetary system or lack thereof we're going to have to switch to. These are all my opinion, nobody else's. AI is developing rapidly, much more rapidly than we thought, much more rapidly than the developers thought. They thought it was going to double itself every year, then they thought 6 months. Now it turns out it's like every 3 months. It's just kicking on, and it's just going to accelerate from there. When we get to quantum computing, which is a whole nother ball game, it's going to be really crazy. However, you're watching the news and they pop on, and these companies, and I touched on this in a different video, but they say, oh, so and so laid off 70,000 workers today. And they pop up and go, but it wasn't artificial intelligence. No, 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 no. We still have plenty of positions. In fact, it's just a fluke. We just had to downsize a little bit. Nothing to worry about. Well, now at least they're getting to the point where they're saying, yes, artificial intelligence caused us to lay off and eliminate these high positions. But don't worry, because it's going to create even more positions for something, and it's like, okay, here's the deal. You got AI, you got Elon and other companies all over the world producing robots. And Elon, within a year, they're going to have a robot that can basically do all your housework. At least that's what they claim. Mow your lawn for you and talk to you and be a companion, and that's only a year away. And they're going to start rapidly developing them. They're already in almost every business. I don't know if you've looked around, but now they're putting uh, robotic French fry cookers in restaurants, and it's just going to totally replace everything, and that's what we've got to prepare for, because I would say in 5 years the unemployment rate is going to be ridiculous. You're probably going to be looking at over 10%, 15%, who knows. But the larger point I'm getting to is that how are we going to pay all these people that can't find work? And it's just that number is going to grow exponentially over the next 10 years to the point where there won't be any human need out there for jobs. Robots and artificial intelligence and everything else will completely be running everything. And so I guess my point is we've got to start thinking, how are we going to just support all these people that aren't working? Now, granted, with robots doing all the manufacturing and farming and everything else, the price of goods should be zero. In other words, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you ever watch the early episodes of Star Trek, it's like nobody gets paid anymore. We just do what we want to do for fun, and medical, everything's free because, it's all done by artificial intelligence. And I'm a capitalist. I'm a little worried about this, but at the same time, it's not socialism. It's because if you're talking about kings, go to some socialist country and see who's running things, and they're. You just look down in Central America. Look at the people of communist China, Russia. Examples everywhere where people just there's the higher ups, and they always say, well, in America, the rich do this and everybody. No, the far vast majority of people in America enjoy a good life. They travel, they take vacations, they raise their kids, they have a good time. And I guess we're going to have to figure out how to keep that going, because and how we're going to do it without paying everybody, unless yet food is basically going to be free. Um, Clothing, articles, everything you need is going to be manufactured free. Your cars, I mean, Tesla, I just got my new X yesterday. It is crazy good. I, it's once again, I plug in and tell it, take me here, backs me out of the garage, drives to where I'm going to go, parks itself, opens the door for me. I get out, closes the door for me. I walk in, do what I need to do, come out, opens the door for me. I get in and say, take me home. And boom, does the same thing, drives me home without any complications whatsoever. And in a little while, they're going to come out with another version that's even more complex than that. It's going to think things through, if you will, as it's driving along. It's like this morning. I came over here, and I'm at the house that we're moving back into. Again, we have another house that's about 7 or 8 minutes away, but it's all rural roads. And I mean rural. It's paved. There's houses and everything, but there are deer. See, in Virginia, you'll have a housing thing, and then you'll have 5 acres of what forest. Hence the name. We live in forest. But so you'll have deer everywhere, in the yards and everything. So you're driving down the road. That Tesla, the cameras on it can see the deer down the road, way down. I mean, and I'll be driving along, and all of a sudden it'll put on the brakes and slow down. I'll be like, what the? And I'll look and I'll see eyes in the road. Then I get a little closer, it starts creeping down, and there they are, deer all over. It sees skunks, it sees squirrels. It stops for everything. It's kind of cool, really. Um, Even the skunk, it just went across the road. I got one that lives down here. I've seen him like 3 times now. He just does his own thing. So it's kind of nice. But anyway, the point I'm making is the car basically drives itself now. In another couple of years, they're not going to have steering wheels, they're not going to have pedals. You're just going to hop in your little box and go wherever you want to go. And the next thing will be hovercraft, and from there to there it'll be the Jetsons. But anyway, the point I'm making is this AI is revolutionizing everything, and it's going to be much larger than the industrial level revolution. It's going to touch everything and change everything, and we have got to start getting prepared for it. We got to start talking about, you got all these bazillionaires out there, and are they going to be okay if their money means nothing? I mean, how's that going to work? If they want to go out and buy a yacht, do they need all their money? Or are there going to be yachts for everybody? I mean, how's it going to go? So the point I'm thinking is that you really got to start looking into this stuff. I don't care what your economic level is, whatever. You've got to start. How are we going to do education? We're not going to need to teach. I mean, I've been teach them math, teach them this, teach them that, get back to basics. Well, they're not going to need basics. I mean, there's literally going to be no need to teach algebra and things like that, because all that's going to be done. And Elon, they've already got this Neuralink thing where they put, signals right into your brain. I mean, how long is it going to be before they just transfer the information right in there? Not long, okay, 20 years tops. And then, yeah. So we just got to start thinking long term, and we got to start getting used to the fact that things are going to change rapidly. For you that have little kids right now, the world when they graduate in 12, 13, 14 years is going to be a different place. It's just going to be different. We're going to be on the moon. We're going to be on Mars, and God knows. And then you got the whole the whole um, alien thing. Where and yeah, I'm a believer in. I was an astronomer. I had lots of telescopes. I've studied the universe. There are going to be so many planets around us that have life. Is it going to be like us? Who knows? Is it going to be swamp grass? Who knows? But I gotta believe that in billions of planets out there, there's got to be other creatures, and we've only been doing this thing here for industrial wise for a couple hundred years, and look where we are. There's got to be civilizations out there thousands of years old that didn't kill themselves off. Um, that travel around. There's got to be a way, whether it's folded space, parallel universes, all the theories out there. But there's got to be a way. And I'm pretty sure that we've probably been visited, and I really think the president's going to announce something in the next couple of years that yeah, it's no longer a secret. But anyway, so just change your thinking. Start watching the news. Start not believing everything you hear when they say, oh, don't worry about this. You don't have to worry, but you got to start thinking about it, okay? And start setting yourself up um, for the changes that are about to come. And I don't know what that means, but we got to start having the discussion, is my point. So, anyway, I was going to post this yesterday on April Fool's Day, but I thought, no, there's going to be so many April Fool's things out there. I'm not. So I waited a day. So anyway, start thinking about it. Start bringing up the topic at dinner. Watch some news, talk to friends, discuss it. But you really got to get into this stuff, and the more you learn, the better off you're going to be. I've got one son that's a software engineer. His job, don't know where it's going to go. I've got another one that's in nursing at the local hospital. He should be okay, but for how long before a robot goes around and does all the nursing work in the hospital? Not far off. 5 years, maybe 10 tops. So anyway, the point is, talk about it, think about it, and start to prepare yourself. It's going to be an exciting time. I don't believe all this, oh, they're going to take us out. Yeah, no. It's going to be safe. And, I think we'll probably get some help along the way from somebody out there. So, anyway, that's it for today. I've just strained your brain enough. I know I've strained mine. So, anyway, I'll talk at you tomorrow. We'll do something cooking. So, prepare yourselves. Have a nice one.